All right, man. Whenever you're ready, Manny, go ahead and take your whiskey shot. Ooh. Takes it like a man, though, like a champ.
I have a few different whiskey thoughts bouncing around my head
All right.
this week.
Yeah.
One is something that we've kind of already touched on, but it is sometimes you get addition by subtraction. I was thinking the other day that it's kind of disappointing that some of these top level champions are either retiring or leaving the division. We have John Jones not retiring but moving up to heavyweight, allegedly.
Yeah.
We have Khabib retiring last Saturday. Henry Cejudo, a 2-division champ. That's 4 of the 8 divisions, you know.
Yeah.
And if a dominant champion loses, it's one thing because it's a natural progression into the next person that beat him, and then here we go. But sometimes I was thinking, I was like, oh, it's disappointing because I want to see Henry back, and I wish Khabib. But sometimes it's nice when those guys leave because then all of a sudden, 125, 135, all these killers, it's wide open. Mm-hmm. There's almost a tournament-style, bracket-style competition for those belts going on. We see what's going on at 155 pounds, and it's now more exciting than ever almost. And now all of a sudden, light heavyweight, we have all these exciting prospects like Jimmy Crute recently and Kalayev. So it's almost addition by subtraction by losing some of these absolute dominant guys that no fault of their own, but they were kind of holding up the division in a sense because they were so dominant and no one could beat them that it was just one challenger after the next. But now you get a little new lifeblood and we get a little bit of excitement in 4 of the divisions. So I was a little sad about losing some of those guys, but you know,
but I was a little happy.
But not a little happy. Mm-hmm. Also, John Jones did a photo shoot with guns in a car. Not good. Not a good look. I mean, if anybody shouldn't be doing that, it's John Jones.
And firing.
I want to give a shout out to Bryce Mitchell and his excellent Twitter content. If you haven't seen Bryce Mitchell on Twitter, you should, because it's spectacular. He's got good comedic timing. I don't know who's editing his videos, but they do a really good job. But he also does a really good job of being funny. Mm-hmm. Those are my whiskey thoughts.
I like it. Those are a few of them, and they're all
there's a lot of things, you know, they're just bouncing around the head this week.
All right, I'll go ahead and do this.
Yeah. You gotta check out Bryce Mitchell on the Twitter. It's fucking hilarious. He did like a car commercial. It's excellent. I don't know what car. It was like a one in Arkansas, like a bumfuck mom and pa type of car, and he did
I didn't see that.
A wonderful
talking about how if you need to go to the hospital because your balls have been.
You gotta watch the whole thing. It's fucking great.
Well, my whiskey thought this week in sports, in all sports, there's significant moments so great, so significant that you kind of wish you were there to see them live. Moments like Michael Jordan when he had the flu in the playoffs, ended up going through it and winning the playoffs. Moments like with his team. You can tell this is a guy who doesn't follow any other sport but MMA.
He won the game.
The game. Whatever, yeah, same difference. It was still great. It was a historical moment. That's my point. Moments like Muhammad Ali rope-a-doping George Foreman, knocking him out later in that fight. And just moments that you wish you were there. If you didn't see them live, you wish you would have been able to see them unfold in real time. And I actually think this last weekend we kind of got to witness one of those moments. Khabib coming into this fight 28-0, as we talked about earlier in the show, there's so many questions. He had lost his father recently. Would he be able to perform as he had up until that point? Gaethje, a new challenge for him. Would Gaethje be able to stop him with his different style? And Khabib just dominated both rounds, gets a submission early in round 2, and then retires. And if this retirement sticks, which I lean towards it sticking, literally unheard of, especially in MMA, to be undefeated, 29-0, so dominant, maybe only a couple rounds that he's lost, like Conor and maybe earlier in his career. And so, I think that was the perfect conclusion to a really impressive career and something that I don't think will be replicated for a very long time, if ever. So it was cool to see that live, kind of surreal, and glad we got to witness some history this weekend.
I wish the fans would have been, to your point, there in the arena because even without the fans, we were here with a couple of our buddies, and when he started taking off the gloves, like,
Yeah.
All of a
what's
sudden,
going
like
on?
the magnitude of the moment, the dominance that he had always shown,
Mhm.
and what an excellent like person and fighter he had been throughout his career, all came like crashing into the same moment. Like, wow, this guy's really done. We just watched him finish his career on the
Yep.
highest of notes, and it's over. And everybody just sat in silence, watching
Yep.
him. Like, wow, this is a big moment that we're glad that we got to see.
And like you mentioned earlier too, that you finally see the guy who's just like been a machine his whole career show some kind of emotion.
Yeah, it
actually
was-
break down and cry.
It was definitely a
Oh.
special moment on Saturday afternoon when he went out the way that he did.
Yep. So that's our whiskey thoughts.